Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams, in the dark slate, nothing's as it seems.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Karina. Yes, time for coffee and tarot. So I've had my tarot. Good morning again. See, this is totally unscripted. Yes, I've had my coffee. And now it is time for tarot. So it's only slightly gray outside. There's a little bit of light coming through. But it is Friday. So tomorrow I will be in Hagerstown from 11 to 5 doing tarot readings. Good morning, Stacy. How are you? So I'm going to be tarot reading up in Hagerstown tomorrow from 11 to 5. And I love doing that. I tell you what, so I read at a lot of different places. And people in Bethesda, very nice and wonderful. But to tell you the truth, I love going to places like Hagerstown or outside of the city. You know, I feel like there's so much more of a connection. Corinna, yeah, need more coffee. That is always true. And I am agreeing with Stacy about so tired of that. Last night I woke up. I mean, it was a torrential downpour outside. I was like, what is going on? But what are we doing now? So you see how hyper and manic I get? Just because life, you know, it's just life. But what does that mean? That means there's a good reason for me to like have something like this personally, which is getting my feet flat on the floor, my butt doing the kitty dance, shoulders, checking the shoulder meter, see where they are, checking my neck, and then listening to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. And there's that light switch. It really is a physical thing I can feel. Where it just kind of like goes from manic, getting ready, to slowing down, saying, okay, we need to take a look at the day, we need to check in with the universe. It's almost like different personalities. So, what are we doing? We're checking in with the universe. And like I like to say, it's where the universe holds up a mirror and asks us, what do we see? And we use the tarot for that. And it's a way of checking in and seeing if we have any angers or resentments or anything, that's going on. And maybe if we're doing meditation or we're doing the tarot, maybe if we see and understand how we're feeling, instead of just reacting during the day, it's like, I'm feeling anxious. Why am I feeling anxious? I can gird my loins. I can be prepared so that when I go out into the world, it's like, you're not gonna piss me off because I've already thought about this morning. I know how I feel. I'm just gonna walk away from this situation right now so I don't, so I don't react. Good morning, Maureen. And that's one of the things about meditation. David Lynch used TM, Transcendental Meditation. But everything he has to say about it, I have to agree. For him, it really is, if you do it long enough, it is two different personalities. And you feel the heart slowing down. You feel breath coming easier when we get used to whatever type of meditation we choose. So, let's see what we have then. I'm just in a really good mood today. So, I am going to make our 3 stacks. Each one a different thread going out to the universe. It's like each one's a different thought or idea. And if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path. Because this stack right here is going to lead down one conversation. This is a totally different path. And this one's going to take us in a totally different direction. So today, let's go with the center, or what I like to think of as right at the heart. That's what intuition is saying to do. Yeah, Stacy's saying she likes mantra meditation. I need to start doing more. I used to do various forms of meditation. I think for me, with tarot, it's a good way to distract me. I find myself falling into the cards, and it gives me a focus. The same way a mantra does, but because it's hard to have 2 thoughts at one time. So it really does. I mean, that's another way that I've used, but I need to be like thoroughly distracted. This just puts me in a zone. Actually, I should research more about TM. So, what do we have for today? I'm going to flip each card over one at a time like we're reading the pages of a book. And the first one is, look at this. So 7. 7s are all about the potential and drive and ambition to get things done. I mean, we're so close to 9. We're so close to 10. And I call this what? The herding cats card. Because wands are fire, energy, creativity. They're action. They're our passions. And so we really just are ready to just get things done. And at this point, it can also frustrate us sometimes. Frustrate us so much that we don't even put on the right shoes in the morning. You ever like put on the wrong socks? It's like, what is going on here? So this is our herding cats card. And not that that's a bad thing, because this is going to get us closer to 10, right? But this is also that frustration we can sometimes feel. And it's also that drive that we have to get something done. Yesterday's advice was the Wheel of Fortune. So here we can see, just like yesterday, where, again, I do not believe in fate. I think that we can control our own fate. That's why I always say that we can influence the Wheel of Fortune. Things are going to change no matter what. Things change, new chapters come along. But my monkey mantra is, if you do the next right thing, you get the next right thing. You know? And so it's one of those things where we try to influence the wheel by being positive. You know, if we put out positive, we get positive. So here, this is all this effort we're putting in. And this effort's going to influence the wheel no matter what. So then we have the Page of Coins. So pages, their court cards can be us, it could be somebody else, could be just part of the situation. And a page is somebody who's willing to what? Learn. A page wants to learn to be a knight. You know, a knight wants to learn to be a king. But this is when we're starting out with something new. This is all that effort we put in, and we're ready for another phase. Maybe another phase to help us get to 10. Or maybe this is, we've put in a lot of effort to where we're going. Now maybe it's time to change direction. But no matter what, it's about the Page of Coins. And coins are about home, health, finances, and all those things that keep us grounded. And I tell you what, while he's standing up on that ledge like that, I don't know how grounded he actually is, because he's up in the air and almost ready to like collapse and fall. You know, if just one, one wrong step. So he's, you know, it just kind of came to my head. Have you ever heard about trying to keep ping pong balls? If you're in the water and there's ping pong balls, great. You grab the ping pong balls and you're holding them like this. And then you get more ping pong balls. And then you're trying to do more and you're trying to do more. And then what happens? What happens if one ping pong ball pops out? Bloop. All of a sudden you reach for it and all the ping pong balls go all over the place. And then you're trying to scramble again. So it almost kind of makes me, that's kind of what I'm feeling this morning when I see this guy. You know, he's trying to gather all those ping pong balls, and maybe when I make my deck, maybe I'll do that for the 7 of Wands. Maybe he's trying to gather all these sticks. I don't know, because it just kind of flashed in my head that that's what it means. But I mean, the effort is there, and that's not necessarily bad. It can be frustrating. A change, though, probably is needed. And maybe either we need to start over, but being more grounded. Because again, a page is the element of earth. Coins are the element of earth. Maybe that means we need to like learn a new approach so that we're not so frustrated about it. I mean, he is much, much more calm. But let's see what the advice card actually says. All right. So I'm sorry. Stacy just said, "It's over, Anakin. Have the high ground." So if people understand that one, oh my gosh, I was not a fan of the prequel. I'm just going to interject before we go to the joy of the advice card. But Stacy, if you get a chance, there is a wonderful version of the prequels. Notice how I got it. This is me on the 7 of Wands, because I go on tangents. It is called what is it? The Phantom Edit. It takes all 3 movies, gets rid of Jar Jar, and these professional editors re-edited the 3 movies into one really good movie. So maybe we need to get together one time and we'll watch the Phantom Edit. It really does show the fall of Anakin. So now you guys see why I need meditation, because she just waved a shiny object in front of me. Now, where are we going with this? So the advice card is, whoa, it's my significator. A lot of people use majors for the significator, but as you just noticed, and it was a great example where I just went off on that tangent, the 4 of Swords. So swords are our thoughts, our ideas. Swords can be our anxieties. And fours are like the 4 legs on a table and the 4 legs on a chair. It's about stability, right? So just think about meditation as we've been talking about. So everything we've talked about, the universe said, okay, let's show them how to be manic. Let's go on tangents. And then let's remember why we do this. And look at this person here. He's taking the breath. He's stable with his breathing. He's stable in his thoughts. And then he's gone from, I'm standing up on this rock and it's like, why am I so manic? What am I doing? And so he watches a video in the morning about meditation and about tarot. And he's like, that's what I should be like. This is the exact opposite. So that we're actually coming at it again as we're learning new experiences, as we're not being manic, but we are studying that coin instead of trying to hold down ping pong balls. So for today, as we start to feel that anxiety, or if we start to feel like we're herding cats, we're trying to hold in the ping pong balls, keep in mind that we can make that change. And since this is our major, minors are just the day-to-day cards. Welcome to a Saturday. But the Wheel of Fortune is the center of this entire spread. And it's a reminder that when that wheel spins, do we want to be on this rock? And do we want to try and control it by taking that rod right there and sticking it into the wheel and say, no, I want it to stop here? Or do we want to take the advice of the Four of Wands, spin the wheel, breathe, and then find the acceptance that goes with that? So that a page is humble. A page does not know everything. This is me when I know everything and I want people to do what I want because I want to control people, places, and things. A page is humble. He's studying the coin, might even ask questions. And he comes at it at a totally different approach. And that comes from the Four of Swords. So the focus today is the Four of Swords, and do I want to be up on a rock herding cats? Or would I rather come at it more humble, like I'm studying the coin? So with that, it's so funny because I feel like I was being manic this morning just for this, so I could get it all out before I go to work. And it's just funny how things work out that way. So with that, I hope that everybody has that amazing day. I hope everybody gets a chance to remember to take a breath and to maybe look at it with a younger, fresher mind and spin that wheel and just know that things change. With that, take care. Have the amazing day. Have an amazing weekend if you can. And I will see you again on Monday. Thank you very, very much. Take care.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand, whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate.